Hello and welcome to Sunday Summary for Palm Sunday 2019. What I do in this video is I try to talk about the major points of the gospel and the homily and then some just basic announcements. I do this for anyone who wants to watch, but I particularly have in mind Good Shepherd Catholic Church here in Shawnee, Kansas, for an opportunity to review the notes if you were at Mass or if you had to miss Mass because of you were somewhere else or you were attending a different parish, or some of our people take care of the liturgy of the word for children, and so they don't get to hear the gospel or the homily or any of the readings for that matter. Just kind of a summary, and also just for me to remember what I said. So, and as I have been saying, this does not count for your Sunday obligation. So here we are, and we are at Palm Sunday. And this is the longest reading of the year. We had the reading of the Passion narrative according to St. Luke. And what I tend to do on Palm Sunday is I tend to take the opportunity to look at just the gospel that we have presented to us on that Sunday. And I kind of look at the differences that we see in just this gospel. Often I have talked about the 7 last words or the 7 last phrases of Jesus on the cross, and that's what I did this Sunday as well. I think those provide us some good opportunities for meditation as we enter into this week. So people often, I think, forget that there are 4 Gospels, and those 4 Gospels tell a little bit of a different story. When we hear the Passion story, what we tend to do is we tend to have kind of a mixture. We kind of tend to mix them all together and reflect on the whole Passion story. But again, on Palm Sunday, I think we have the opportunity just to isolate those things. I was talking about how in Luke's gospel that we heard today, we don't hear about Mother Mary being at the foot of the cross. That's not part of Luke's gospel. We don't hear Pilate washing his hands. That's in Matthew's gospel. I get him confused too, so it gives me a chance to kind of focus on these things. So what I thought I would do this year is focus on the 7 last words, or the 3 last phrases, the 3 last words that we hear today in Luke's gospel. And for review, then, what in summary, what were those words? Today we had, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Then we have Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And then we have, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. We don't hear the phrase, my God, why have you abandoned me, in Luke's gospel, although we hear it in the psalm on Palm Sunday, and they sing it beautifully today. And we don't hear the phrase, it is finished, nor do we hear him say to his mother, behold your son, behold your mother. None of that is in this gospel. So these are the 3 phrases for us to consider. And I invited us to consider those 3 phrases, or to even be briefer, as I said, is we can have the words of mercy, hope, and trust. Those are the things that we can consider for the week. Mercy, hope, and trust. So Jesus says, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. At the very last moment, on one of his last phrases that he says before he dies, he says he's merciful. The Sacred Heart, the merciful heart of Jesus still beats on the cross and says, Father, forgive them. And so we are called also to mercy, to put on that merciful heart of Jesus Christ, to also be merciful. Jesus gives this message of hope to the criminal. In Luke's gospel is the only place where we hear of the story of the 2 criminals. The one criminal who, although he admits that he has committed this crime, he says, we are guilty, but he says, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. It's a beautiful passage. It's only in Luke's gospel. And Jesus says, today you will be with me in paradise. What a beautiful phrase. So that message of hope that we have, that even if we've done just terrible things, the story's not over, and we still have that mercy of God. I know so many people fall into despair and sadness, and I think many people need to hear this message of hope, that God is still there for us. And then that 3rd phrase, the last words that Jesus says before his death in the Gospel of Luke is, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. So that moment of trust, even at the very end, he still trusts in his Heavenly Father. I think there's a lot of people that have issues with trusting God, even trusting our Heavenly Father, that God knows what He's doing in the midst of this world, in the midst of all this darkness. And Jesus, in the midst of all this darkness, still says, I still trust in you, Heavenly Father. I still love you, and I commend my whole life, my whole being into your hands. So just those three things were the theme of the homily today, and just something I invite us to reflect upon as we enter into this Holy Week. Mercy, Father, forgive them, they know not what they are doing. Hope, this day you will be with me in paradise. And trust, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. So just some thoughts for that. So that's a summary of today's gospel and homily. Then I take the opportunity for the second part of the video is just talk about some notes about other things that happened at Mass. By the way, I'm recording this. What time is it? 1:10. The 12:15 Mass is going on, and it is packed. It is packed. When I first started recording the video, they were working on finishing up that long gospel there. Father Dan has the Mass today, so it's packed. We have great opportunities this Holy Week. I should have checked before I turned on the filming of the video, where are the other penance services, but by the time you see this, it's probably too late anyway. But tonight we have confessions at Nativity. At least that's where I will be at 7 o'clock. We have this week of opportunities for confession. Then Wednesday, as we have for all the Wednesdays in Lent, we have confessions, and Father Dan and I will be there at least 6 to 7, but I have not taken any commitments in the evening, and I told Father Dan not to either, so it's kind of the last call for confessions before Easter. So I'll be there from 6 o'clock until whenever. Then our Holy Week services, they will all be bilingual. 7 o'clock Holy Thursday, 7 o'clock Good Friday, and 8:30 on Easter Vigil. We are asked to not start the service until the sun is down, at least mostly, so that the service starts off with a bonfire or a big fire, and then there's the candlelight service, and it's just really more effective and more beautiful when it's really dark out. And so 8:30, it's still earlier than like Christmas Eve 10 o'clock Mass too. So 8:30, I know it's late and I know it's long, but it's a beautiful service. So those are happening. Those will all be bilingual. We'll try to provide material so that's a beautiful celebration, whether you just speak one language or two languages. It'll hopefully be a beautiful ceremony. And it's my first time so here at Good Shepherd. So, we'll live and learn and see what works, what doesn't work, what needs to change in my mind and in the minds of others. What can we do to improve? So it's a beautiful ceremony from year to year. When I look at the missal every year, and it's like, I only do these ceremonies once a year, and it's easy to get them confused. It's like, okay, now what do I do? And so anyway, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Also, I'll say on Good Friday, there's a beautiful service. It's all in Spanish, but it's the presentation of the live Stations of the Cross at 5:30. It'll be outside, I guess, weather permitting. But at my previous parish, Our Lady of Unity, they did an excellent presentation of the Way of the Cross, and we walked all through the streets there in Argentine. It's a really very powerful, prayerful thing, and many people who don't speak any bit of Spanish, it's one of their favorite things, and then they come every year, and it's a very powerful experience. So I invite you to come on. I imagine it will be just as powerful here. So 5:30 on Good Friday. So the idea is you can come to the service at 5:30, the live Stations of the Cross, then take a little break, and then we start the Good Friday service at 7 o'clock that night. So hopefully people will come for both of those services. And then 3 o'clock on Friday as well, we have the Stations of the Cross in English. So those are those announcements. I'm excited also this week. I've got the Chrism Mass. It's a wonderful celebration where the oils are blessed each year by the Archbishop, and all the priests come together as a group, and we renew our promises of priesthood. It's a really beautiful celebration that I look forward to every Tuesday of Holy Week. And of course, Easter comes this next week. So it's Easter Sunday next Sunday, and that's very exciting. And I told everyone to make sure we're on our best behavior, because we might have some visitors. And if you're watching this and you're not a member of Good Shepherd and you're looking for a place to worship on Easter Sunday morning, please come. Or Easter Sunday evening. We also have the 5 o'clock Mass on Easter Sunday evening. So we're trying that out. Hopefully just providing more opportunities for people to come and worship and pray and come together as a community. So anyway, those are the announcements for today. And that's the summary of what happened on Palm Sunday. And it's going to be a great week, Holy Week. Oh, and hey, jazz hands. Tuesday Night Live is coming, and theoretically, Martha Toddy, our spectacular liturgy coordinator, liturgist here at the parish, will hopefully be able to stop by. She's really busy getting everything ready for Holy Week, but I thought, who better to talk about the Holy Week ceremonies here at Good Shepherd than our liturgist. And she's put in a whole lot of work, and she's very dedicated. And I just like for her to share some thoughts. So the plan is for Michael Sheeran and myself and Martha Toddy to go live for Tuesday Night Live about 8:30-ish for this Tuesday for Holy Week. All right, have a blessed week. Make it holy, be good. And I plan to do another one here on Easter Sunday for the Sunday summary. God bless.